Hello, this is TheKingOfZombies here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do grid-based movement in Unity. What you need is a Unity project with a player, or whatever you want to be able to move with the controls, and start your script. First thing you need to do in your script is to create an enum for direction so that we always know which direction the object is facing. You don't technically need this, I just do it because I have visual indicators for which direction I'm looking, and it helps. Then you're going to create some booleans for can move and moving, which we'll be using later. Can move will be set to true, and moving will be set to false for the time being. Then you want to set speed to 5 and create a button cooldown of 0. Button cooldown is so that when you press the buttons, it, like for looking different directions, it doesn't force you to move that direction. Then going to need to create a vector 3 for position. Well, I guess right after input, put in the direction that you're facing. Vector 3 for position, which we need to know where you are. I know that's a very strange question, but it is important for what we're doing. So now we go down to update, create an if statement for if you can move, then does this stuff. Sets your position to transformed position, so it's basically just the position of the game object, and then calls move, a function that we're going to make here in a second, or minute, whichever. We're going to also create a different if statement also in update, if moving, so if you are currently moving, or that's set to false at default, so it won't be called for now. Then inside the if statement, we're going to put another if statement for if your position is the position. That sounds a little weird, but in a second it will make a bit. I can explain it a bit more. Then we're going to moving equals false and can move equals true, because that means that you're done moving the tile or the grid position. Then we're also going to call move again in case you're still holding down the button. Now here's where the actual magic is happening. You're going to set your position to vector3 dot move towards, which is a function that allows you to move towards an area. First one is where you are right at this moment, which is transform that position. The other one is where you want to go, pause, which is why we're testing to see if they're true up above. And then it's the speed that you're going, so time.delta time times speed to get a good solid movement, not too fast, not too slow. And you can set it whatever you want. I just have it at 5 because that's what I've been using. Now we're going to make the move function. It's a void function because it's not returning anything. And here we go. If button cooldown is less than 0, or less than or equal to 0. And now we're testing for each of the buttons. I'm just using the arrow keys. You can also use WASD or whatever buttons you want, really. It would just be also in this if statement as an or. Or if you just wanted to get rid of the arrows and use WASD, that would be fine as well. And now we're checking to see if you are currently looking up, which if you are, or if you're not, then it makes you look up by setting your direction to up. Otherwise, it will set you to move up. In a minute here, I'm going to realize I forgot the cooldown that should be there so that you don't automatically move up. It's just as easy as setting button cooldown to 5, which is 5 frames, because I haven't had any problems with it so far. And there's how we determine if you're going up. change the pause to whatever the position of the player is, or whatever object you're using, +1 in the upward direction. If you're using like a grid of smaller scale, you can set that. You can like divide vector3.up by 2, for example, if you're doing it like that. But I am not, so this works for me. Here we're doing the same thing for the down arrow. The left arrow. And the right arrow. Here you can see me going back up and adding the button cooldowns. And up here, I am setting it so that every time update is called, button cooldown is decreased by 1. Save the script, went back to Unity. Here you get to see it in action. You see that the script is indeed on the player. Now by using the arrow keys, you can move. That's why the background is there, so you can see the movement. Then here we go, a little bit later, I added the animation stuff to it. It's just as simple as calling like ani.play or whatever you called it, and have it play the animation for whenever you're looking that direction. And voila. Movement still works just fine. You can now just tap a direction to look. This has been the King Zombies. I'll see you guys next time.